How do we know when it starts?
You know.
We know. Man, like Houston Game Guys. I think that's the shit that Core sponsored by. Their logo is a big purple G. Or it's pink. It's a pink G.
Okay.
And every time I see Game Guys, I glance at it really quickly. I don't like read it. And so, it never translates to guys when I read it. Ever.
I don't even know what you're talking about, dude. What are you talking about?
Especially with the big pink G. There's just this channel called Houston Game Guys, right?
Pink guy.
But or like on the stream it says Game Guys, no Houston. Game Guys, right?
Does someone have a fan on?
A fan?
No, I hear a fan.
Yeah, it's my loyal fan
Where
in
the hell
my
is
room.
my fan? What's up, internet? How's
Dude,
it going, everybody?
how high do I have to be for this camera to be centered on my face?
Well, I'm trying to tell you. Figure it out, man.
Oh, God, Jesus, dude.
That's what I'm telling you, man. You look like you're 2 feet tall on that camera. I tried telling you, man. Fucking get a booster chair.
Why can't you just move the screen
Oh,
capture so
God.
that it
That's the first time someone has subscribed during the show. Anyway, I don't know who did that, but someone just subscribed, I think.
Okay.
Unless
Cool.
my meat spin thing is just firing into the sky with like Yosemite Sam just giving away meat spins. Anyway, what's up, internet? You're watching ATP Live. My name's Eris. I think we got everything sorted out. Let me close this Mega Man shit. I'm joined by Rip and Rixta. What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Not much. Doing good.
My head is
Not really.
fucking huge in this picture. I can't fix it, dude. It's impossible.
Whoa, what are you doing,
What
Rick?
are you doing, man?
I'm trying to make it so my gigantic head isn't so gigantic.
Do you
Well,
keep your webcam between your monitor and your
It
keyboard?
looks like it's under his
Pretty
covers
much.
in his bed. He keeps it under his sheets.
He doesn't want his mom to know he has a webcam. He's like,
Damn.
Dude, this is impossible.
All
Whatever.
right, whatever, man. You look like a moron.
Dude, you're the one that can't fucking stream properly,
I
man.
figured it out. The stream started. You know what? I'm doing my bitch calling right now. Fuck you.
Deuce.
Fuck you.
that was dope.
Anyway, I'm out of here. See you guys. So all kinds of stuff, interesting stuff going on. We missed last week. I went to NCR. I'll talk about NCR a little later. But the thing that's fresh on my mind right this second is Nick came over and he was just randomly like, "Hey, what's up, dude? What are you doing? I'm coming over and we're gonna stream Killer Instinct." So I mean, I've never really even played it before. I just see it on streams. He came over and we played it a little bit, and I gotta say that game definitely is a lot better than it looks. I mean, especially on stream. I was playing it, and first of all, aesthetically, it looks so good in person. It looks so bad on stream. It just does not look good on stream. There's all those little particles and shit. So that's that. But the actual feel of it is not really that bad. I mean, I thought it feels really good, and it feels kind of fun, But the one thing that I had a lot of trouble with, which Nick was saying you could do it, but it's just kind of hard. But it's, when you do a dash and you want to do a fireball motion, I kept getting Dragon Punch.
Uppercut. Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
The buffer system is kind of large, and they tweaked it for like certain inputs, like because like Saberwolf has like he has a back forward motion, but it's not a charge, right? So if you do just back forward, you'll get the back forward. You know what I mean? So like
Okay.
they changed that so that you could do a back dash and then back forward after that. You know what I mean? But like they didn't change for everything. So in general, the buffer system is wider than usual in other games.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought, the first thing I thought is this pad sucks. I mean,
Which is probably not far off either.
the pad is so shitty. I couldn't believe it. Oh, I couldn't believe how bad it was. But then, I remembered at Super Arcade, you remember when Double Helix brought the games over and stuff? There was a station that had a pad that I used that was way better than this pad. What the hell was that all about? Is that an aftermarket pad?
I don't know. I mean, odds are, when Double Helix brought it over, that was like the development build, so it may have been like Xbox 360 pads even. But
No.
the Xbox
It was
pad-
okay. So the D-pad on a regular, like on a all of the controllers are like a cross. It's like a
Yeah.
yeah,
Like this guy.
okay, yeah. There you go. That's the one I played on. The one I played on at Super Arcade was each directional input was an independent button.
Oh, like a PlayStation one.
But not like a PlayStation one where it's actually across, but it's underneath the case of the housing of the pad. It's not like that. Each button was actually independent. Do you know which pad that is?
I have no idea. It might be the Mad Catz pad.
I didn't even know Mad Catz made a pad.
They had an MLG pad that they made a while ago.
Oh, and that works on Xbox One?
I don't know, but like I said, it was when they brought it over as development build, so they anything worked on it basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, anyway, the pad for this console, at least for fighting games, I thought was putrid. I thought it was terrible.
Speaking of which, a lot of the players at the runback who use pad actually use the analog stick to play KI.
That's ridiculous, too.
They do it.
But I got to say...
Why is that ridiculous, though?
What?
Why is that ridiculous?
I mean, think about that.
I don't know, man.
You remember that
They
guy that
do
won
it.
SoulCalibur? You remember that guy that won SoulCalibur 5, the Japanese Tira player? He played on an Xbox pad and he used the analog stick.
Yeah, but, I mean, even if he's a world champion and unbeatable, it doesn't change the ridiculousness level of it. I mean, think about what's going on there. He's using the...
It doesn't matter. No, that doesn't matter though. You have to play. You play on whatever's best for your situation, and that's
Yeah, okay, fine. So if you told me that the world champion, unbeatable, undefeatable player of Killer Instinct plays with a Time Crisis gun, I can't say that that's ridiculous? Of course that's fucking ridiculous. It doesn't matter how good he is. I think it's retarded.
Yeah, but he's shooting your ass and beating you in.
He's shooting me in Killer Instinct.
Just
Anyway,
shooting right in the
it's
face.
ridiculous. But regardless, whatever, man. I'm down. Whatever you can win with, as long as it's allowed. You know me, man. I'm the king of cheating. So as long as it's allowed, do it, man. I don't care. So whatever. But that's not my point. I still think it's retarded. It's like I think the pad's no good for that. But it might be good for other stuff. I didn't even know that there were one buttons on the pad. They're so like discreet about the shoulder. I don't know what they're called. Not the triggers. Not the triggers.
They're just called left button and right button.
Yeah, those. I didn't even know that they were there either. So Nick's like, hit 2 punches. I mean, what do you mean 2 punches? So anyway, I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty cool. I just think that it's crazy how the game, I think, a lot of people may not like it because of the pad. Even Charles was trying it out, and he was like, wow, this pad is trash, and he wasn't even able to execute. So I agree. I think that everyone should pick up the Mad Cat stick for sure. Or any other stick that's available if there is one. But
That's the thing. Like, I don't think there's any other stick available. And I saw Markman tweet out the other day that they're not making any more of the stick. So
wow.
if you're a Killer Instinct player and you're planning to get a stick, you better get one. Like, because they're gonna be gone.
No way. Huh.
Yeah. And I assume that's because I don't know the exact reason. Mad Catz would have to tell us that, but I assume it's because they didn't sell enough of them.
It's probably just because there's no need for it other than to buy Killer Instinct and to have an Xbox One. You need two things for that thing to sell.
It's very expensive.
And not to me, I don't even think many people even have either next generation console.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. I mean, as much as I enjoyed Killer Instinct, and if it were, let's say, hypothetically on PC or PS3, I would be entering tournaments for it, without a doubt. I think it's worthy of my time as a game. It's definitely not worth it for me to buy a console. Even if I could afford it, it wouldn't be worth it, and I can't afford it. So, I mean, I don't know how else to talk about that. That's kind of a bummer.
You would need a console and a stick.
Yeah, I mean, for someone like me who really would have to play it on a stick, it's just like a giant... I basically paid that much for my fucking car that I drive. I bought my car for $1,000, and I'm about to spend $1,000 to play this one fighting game, So I don't know about that. But, yeah, I just thought it was cool. I thought it was worth mentioning that I think it's pretty good, and I think it's a lot of fun. The system... sounds really shitty, and when the developer of the game is explaining it to you, it's hard to not make it sound bad when you're describing it. But when you actually play it, it really doesn't feel as ridiculous as it may seem in its description. It's really cool, and I like the system, so I'm interested in it. And it's also at MLG. That was recently announced.
Yeah. MLG Anaheim is going to have Killer Instinct and Injustice.
Yeah, so that's going to be pretty cool. That's in June, I think.
Yeah, June. I don't remember the exact date.
Yeah, me either, but that's pretty cool. Pretty excited about that. Other things to discuss. Not last week since we didn't have a show, but the week before, Bronson was on the show, and he had a rather controversial announcement. Obviously, he announced that Strong Style was going to happen in NorCal in September. Lots of interesting things were announced. He's going to have at least 10 international players just from Asia, not including Europe. Lots of good news. But then he announced one thing that got the whole internet riled up. And on my site, on the YouTube page where I uploaded the podcast, there were just tons of comments explaining why they think it's such a stupid idea, like insulting, like they were very abrasive. Like, Bronson, you dumb fuck, this kind of attitude. Like, what are you doing? You're an idiot. It's like Bronson just wants to have this club of people that, it's not accessible to the rest of the world and stuff. And I wanted to know, okay, so we got some time to think about it. We got some time to talk to people. And I don't know if you guys know, but since I went to NCR, I talked to a lot of people, and the buzz was strong style. I mean, Arturo, Spooky, Nerd Josh, all these people, they're like, dude, you going? I'm going to be there. I want to be there at Strong Style. All these people that you may not even expect to give a shit about a tournament like that are just amped up about Strong Style. So I like that, right? But now that we've had a chance to kind of sleep on the idea of this tournament being so big and having so many people and not being streamed, what are your thoughts on it? I want to know what you guys think now that you've thought about it, because I'm sure you've seen some of the backlash. I am not on Facebook, as you know, but I'm sure Facebook has its own shitstorm of people complaining. So what are the pros and cons here? I mean, maybe there's something I'm not even seeing, but what are your thoughts? You go first, Ricky. What are your thoughts on the whole no stream at Strong Style? Is Bronson a bitch for that?
Well, I'm. All right. This is just a selfish standpoint for me.
Yeah.
But I like it, and the reason why I like it is because if having no stream means that those 5 players that wouldn't have come to Strong Style because there is a stream now are like, well, if I can't watch a stream, I'm gonna find out the best way to get there. Cheapest way possible. I'll go there somehow. And then there's 5 extra people at the venue. For me, that's a better time than a couple hundred people watching the stream. And it's super greedy, and I know it because I'm gonna go to Strong Style. So that's just how I feel. I mean, it sucks obviously for people that can't go, and I don't blame anybody for not going, but it's just how I feel, man. And it's like, I don't think Bronson is gonna not do anything. Like, people are like saying, well, he's not gonna put up match videos. Like, no one's ever gonna see it. He's gonna do something for people that can't be there, because he's not as much of as a bitch as he is. He's not that big of a bitch. He's a little bitch, not a big bitch.
He's a big bitch, but he's not that
he is
big.
A big bitch. but here's the thing. Like, he's a jerk, but I mean, he's gonna be a jerk, but he's still gonna try to do what's best for
the game.
Everybody. Yeah, in the game. So
dude, this guy loves Tekken. He really likes it, and it's a part of his like DNA. He's one of those guys where he really loves the game and he wants to do good things for the game. So all of you people out there who really are pissed, like to the point where you're like, fuck this is ridiculous, I wouldn't get so pissed, because trust me, he's gonna have your back. I mean, there's no way Bronson is going to fly out all these people from all over the world and just be like, you losers can't see any of it. Just burn the archives. It's like, yeah, he's going to do something. We don't know what he's going to do, but I guarantee the matches are going to be viewable at some point. What are your thoughts, Rip? And especially what I'm asking is, what are the pros and cons here for him?
The pros for him are that he's hopefully going to get a couple more people to show up than before. I think most people would have shown up anyway, regardless of the stream thing or not. I don't know how effective this is going to be, like, in bringing in extra players. And so, to me, it seems like it's not the best idea in the world. It's cool because it caused a lot of shit, and like people are like, "Whoa, what the hell's Strong Style? I got to go check that out." But
good publicity, definitely.
Very good publicity, exactly. But at the same time, I don't know how effective it'll be, because I think there's still a bunch of guys like in Europe or whatever, or just far away, who are just they're not going to make it, and I think those guys are probably the guys that are more upset. I feel like most people in America, like, I don't know how many viewers in America are going to be like, oh god, now there's no stream, let's go. Like, I hope there's a bunch, but I feel like there isn't. You know what I mean? Like, inside me, I just feel like that's hopeful thinking, but it's not going to happen.
Just random travelers.
Yeah. I feel like that's very unlikely. I don't feel like, because there's no stream, that they're not going to come. I feel like they would have come anyway just because it's strong style. You know what I mean? I don't feel like, oh, now there's no stream, now we have to go. You know, like I don't know that that's that big of a motivator. Hopefully it is, but I agree with Rick. You know, I think that a lot of people are overreacting, feeling like, you know, like how did you expect me to spend $1,000 to go there? And you know, there's no way that I'm going to be able to afford that, and he's not going to have a stream for it. You know, that's just messed up. But I think in reality, you know, he's going to have the archive somewhere. It's not going to be like a burned archives thing, like you mentioned. So yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so do you think that there are any other hidden?
Hold on, I got to take this call. Ricky,
Okay, that was kind of random.
Oh well, all right. Well, let me talk about this then. Well,
Yeah.
You know how Rip said something about like how, people, can't go there, right? Like I'll say like at final round, I couldn't go to final round this year, and it was just money. But like realistically, I could have spent the money to go to final round.
Right.
But I thought about two things. Number one, I thought like, well, I'm not gonna miss much of the tournament because most of it's gonna be streamed. And then they had, Fab and Incognito did that whole Tekken Casino.
Yeah.
And so I saw a ton of matches, and basically all I missed was like, being there and like, hanging out with friends. But other than that, like I almost felt like I experienced final round to as much as I could have at that point,
Yeah.
which is like with no stream, then you really are like, then it's like, it really feels like 2006, where if you're not at a tournament, man, you have to like refresh the forum every like 10 minutes, trying to get some quick updates, going to IRC.
That's
and
pretty
then, like,
cool. Just the idea of that is pretty cool to me. I don't know, man. I mean, streams are so important, and they.
Yeah, it's times now, man. It's like streams are gonna be, it's the future.
Yeah,
now,
it's the window of, everyone can see what's going on, and without it, I don't know. It's just so peculiar because, there was a time when we used to all get up and go to Video 94. There was no stream. There was barely electricity. Remember the roaches? Holy shit. Or remember that time there was a snake? There was a fucking snake inside the arcade, like a real life one that's, like a fucking boom, strike at you, that kind of snake. I mean, that kind of shit like never happens anymore. It's all like, ones and zeros and a table with commando behind it, and it's like it's the way it is now. So I'm excited to see how it goes. I think that as far as a business decision, there may be some like hidden consequences, and there may also be some hidden like benefits from not having a stream. I definitely think that the whole idea caused enough of a buzz for randoms to be talking about it. Random dudes that like just see me outside having a cigarette are like, yo, no stream at Strong Style? That's sick. Like the word got out to a lot of people. So I don't know. Bronson, it's his idea. He's doing a lot of hard work. I mean, just about every single day that goes by, I hear about something he's trying to do. And this reminds me, this is not official yet, but he said that after Northwest Majors, he's going to do some kind of fundraising thing for Flying Wonky to make it out to Strong Style, which I think is an excellent idea. Flying Wonky has done a shitload for the scene, puts a ton of articles on the site, avoidingthepuddle.com. This guy does so much shit. I don't even know what he looks like. I don't even know if he's... What is he? I don't even... Maybe a robot. Maybe he's a fucking artificial intelligence. I don't even know who he is or what he does, but I would love to see him come out. He totally deserves it, and I'm sure that's going to happen. So there's a lot of layers to the Strong Style lasagna, and I'm just really excited about the event. There's more buzz as far as hypeness for Strong Style than Evo as of right now.
Of course.
Yeah, to me, which is shocking. Which is shocking if you think about it. But what do you guys think about Strong Style taking away from Evo as far as entrance?
I personally wouldn't mind it that much. I mean, I think Evo's going to have a ton of people anyway. But I feel like Strong Style is going to be 3 out of 5. It's going to have a better pool format than Evo. Like, I was really excited about Evo, and then like I was thinking to myself like, oh yeah, it's 2 out of 3. That's exactly what my mentality was, and I was like, well, it's still gonna be dope. It's Evo. But then knowing that Strong Style is coming later, and it's gonna be 3 out of 5, and it's gonna have this cool pool format. It's like I'm just like, that's gonna be the funner tournament for a Tekken player.
Yeah, that's true. I think obviously, I mean, Strong Style is going to be all about Tekken, so it's definitely going to be a really important tournament for a Tekken player. But I really hope that. Um, so worst case scenario is that a lot of people don't end up going to Evo and they end up going to Strong Style instead because they have to pick one, and that lowers the numbers for Evo, giving it an even worse taste in their mouth.
Right.
I mean, it's
Which
already,
sucks.
they don't even want to swallow it, but they are. Now they're going to spit it out. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. It might happen, but either way, these are multiple events. Another one is Northwest Majors. I don't know if
Mhm.
this is going to happen either, but EBM hit me up and they were like, he said he's going to try and get some shit together to try and fly me out to
Oh.
Northwest Majors. I don't know if that's going to happen, but if it does happen, that would be sick. This is turning into like a Tekken major as well. If you go to the Northwest Majors page, actually, I might be able to pull it up to give you guys a visual aid here. But if you go to this page, it's right here. Wonky put it up. But their main page has this collage of, Jimmy J looking like a meth addict and all these guys. And it's
I
like
saw that.
the main page of Northwest Majors is like a Tekken presentation. So they're trying to turn this into a Tekken event, and
Core looks like a psychopath in that picture behind James too.
have you seen Jimmy J? He's like,
No, I know.
he looks like
Jimmy
he's
just
about to cut you and then cut himself.
Jimmy just looks like he's like an extra on Breaking Bad. But it's like all the other guys are like,
God.
Yeah, Jimmy's having withdrawals in that picture from Tekken. Tekken
They guys are all
withdrawals.
mean, dude.
Yeah,
dude,
that's
it
what
was so
we do.
weird because he looked normal. The entire time
We
he
were
was
there
just
that
like-
day. We were
I
with him.
know.
We were 5
It was just
feet
like
away from him.
as soon as that picture took, he just shrunk up and
It's
just
a
like got
bad
off.
picture. It's just a bad picture. That's
It is.
because I was standing next to him when he took it. He didn't even look.
Yeah,
At it.
I know.
That's the funniest part. And he was our U.S. representative. Like, yo, let's send this drug addict over there. Anyway, so yeah, Northwest Major is turning into a serious Tekken event as well, which of course is going to be streamed and all that. So there's lots of stuff going on as far as tournaments and all that should go. Neither of you, are you going to that, Rip? I know you're not, Ricky, but are you going to Northwest Majors, Rip?
I wasn't planning to, but I think there's still time if I want to change my mind about that. So
I'm
we'll
pretty
see.
sure it's like next weekend.
I probably won't go to that.
You didn't know?
There's probably not enough time for me to go to that.
What's today, the 24th? Yeah, I think it's next weekend.
It's too soon.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know if they're really gonna get their, ducks in a row and fly me out there. If they do, well, I don't know who is even responsible for that. But if they do, I owe someone a blowjob. But it's really late. Like it's really like next week.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. But either way, that's gonna be a sick tournament. So there's all kinds of dope shit going on for that. Which I'm always glad to hear. Tekken really making a U-turn as far as hypeness. Other shit going on. SoulCalibur Lost Swords came out. That's a free-to-play single-player fighting game, and it doesn't even work.
What?
I downloaded it. I wanted to play it. I turned the stream on. It said SoulCalibur Lost Swords. Twitch TV didn't even have the game on their archive of games
Yeah.
or whatever, so I had to type it in. And I turn it on. I plug it in. Stream's on, and as soon as you go to the main menu and press start, it says error code 1096. See you later.
What?
Like it doesn't even let you get past the main menu. I don't know what the fuck the deal is with that. The internet told me that it's just the U.S. servers that aren't working, but I didn't even confirm. I was hoping that I would try that game out and then never play it ever again, but I couldn't even do that. So,
Wow.
So you're just never gonna play it ever?
well, I'm gonna try it at least once. I mean, there are some aspects to it that I think are cool because they brought back Taki, and she's not in the last SoulCalibur game, so. I'm interested in seeing what they do with the character in this game. Also, I'm interested in seeing what they do with all the characters in that game because I think it's kind of like mashy. Like, BBBB is a string.
Oh yeah, that's right. They added
Something
like a
like
bunch
that.
of new strings for like Mitsurugi and all that. When
Yeah.
I played the demo, so
Yeah, I didn't even get to play the demo because it was all in Taiwanese. I couldn't even understand any of that shit. So I was like, fuck this. And now that the American one's out, the server's Taiwanese and it doesn't even fucking work. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Neither of you obviously have played it, right?
No, yeah. So tell me more about this game, though. So I mean, there was a demo, and now it's basically like a Soul Calibur 6 almost. Because
No,
it
no,
sounded
no,
kind
no.
of-
There
no,
was-
it's a single player game, and it's like you get like equipment to level up. I guess your like stats or whatever. So to get equipment, you have to play the computer and beat the computer, and there's like a
But you
buddy system where it's like
did you
if your
beat them
friend.
in like 1v1 still, like traditional fighting game with life
Yeah,
bars
it's
and
a
stuff?
fighting. It's
Or
just a regular.
okay,
It's a fighting game. That's it. But
okay,
it's but
It's
it's a
like a
fighting game
ghost
where you're.
battle mode. Like
Yeah.
you
right.
fight a ghost of some guy, you beat him, it gives you points and score and gold or whatever, and then you use this, you grind it out and get better items and level
Right.
up your character. The demo, it wasn't even a demo. It was a beta test. They did a beta test where you could download it and play it, and it was way early. Like the load times were atrocious and all this stuff. I didn't do it, like I said, because
Yeah.
Let's just act like we said something really sick, and like
How do you do
they're
that?
never
You
we're
know,
never
Ricky,
gonna
I
show
don't
that
know
on
if I
stream.
tell you this, but your video's been frozen to me like forever. But I see it's working in the stream, so I'm not even gonna touch it. Like, fuck it.
yeah, it works. It works
Yeah.
for me. But yeah, that shit got cut out. Anyway, I think we're back now.
Yeah, that was
Um,
hilarious.
Yeah, this is what strong style will be like.
Giving you guys a taste of strong style. Man, that's fucked up, dude. That's so fucked up because I have to do all this fucking editing. I hate doing editing. Why the fuck does Time Warner screw me over every time? You know?
It wasn't Time Warner because we didn't drop this call.
So then what was that?
It's your computer or something, dude.
What do you mean it's my computer?
I'm like, it's either your computer or it's Twitch. It's one or the other.
So
It's
that
one-
was not Time Warner for sure.
No, because our Skype call stayed connected the whole time through.
It could be just
That's
one of
what
those.
it is.
Remember how like some place or some like IPs have problems connecting with certain things like Twitch or Skype or something. Maybe it's like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. That's fucking bullshit. I
So,
hate that I
I-
have to edit that shit. I'm so pissed about that. Anyway, go ahead. What's that, Rip?
Show's
Okay.
ruined.
Even though like it's a single player fighting game, you have to grind to get upgrades or whatever. You guys are saying that there's new strings in it. So does this mean it's kind of like how Tekken 5 goes to DR and they get 2 more moves per character? Like, is it kind of like that?
I don't
Like, are
think
all the
so.
characters still in the game, or just like a very small subset of the characters?
I don't know how many characters are in the game, but it seems like it's not a huge cast. Also, it seems like it's not following any rules in terms of the story because Taki is returned. I don't know if that really... I don't really know the story, but they took her out for some reason. Either she died or she's too old, and they brought Natsu in. Now she's back. But as far as the sequel goes, I think it's more along the lines of they made it a little more MASH-friendly so that random losers can just mash and be like...
Deal.
Yeah, they can just be like, all right, this
Deal.
is sick. I guess. I haven't tried it yet, but why else would you put a string like BBBB into the game other than
Beal.
BLBL? They put an L button in there. Shit. You mash on your controller like Beal.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I wanted to try it because even if I'm not gonna play it, I at least want to kind of get an idea of what are they even thinking. Because
It's kind of like how they use Tekken Revolution, where you can kind of like you
Right,
see
right.
what they're changing in there.
yeah, it's that the coolest thing about Tekken Revolution is seeing what direction they're headed with the character changes and the system changes. It's very intriguing seeing how they decided to make invincible moves exist and back rolls not float and whatever. So for that reason, I'm interested in Lost Swords. But again,
Yeah, I don't think they have a. I don't remember if they have a super meter or not. I think and there are some system changes though that are changed from SoulCalibur 5.
Yeah,
from
I
what
remember something about the GIs being different. I don't know if Just Guard exists in that game. So there's a lot of stuff to at least check out. I personally, I really like the series, obviously, and I do care about what direction it goes in. So, I'm going to check it out. But again, I can't play it right now, so it's almost like it sucks. It sucks for them, too, because it really blows the hype of the game.
Yeah.
If it gets released and then you download it and can't play it, you really don't get the same, like, explosion that Tekken Resolute got when it came out. It was like, boom, check this out, and you already own it, and boom, play it right now. I mean, that was sick, and I was hoping that would be the case with this, but it kind of didn't work out that way. So, I don't know. I mean, you could download it right now on PlayStation Network. It's only on PlayStation as well. I think it's not on Xbox. So,
Same as Tekken Revolution. Is that what it's called?
I don't know. I never even remember.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is kind of cool. Another thing, so that's one game that's coming out, and recently, not recently, but I've heard a while ago Harada say that he's working on multiple games, right? So I presume that's one of them, and they announced another one, also free to play. This is becoming a huge trend. Free to play, virtual on style, Gundam style game, developed from, and we talked about this in the past on this show.
Our boner game.
Yeah, our boner game, developed by the makers of Tekken, SoulCalibur, and Gundam Boost. or whatever it's called, Gundam
Mhm.
Full Boost or whatever. They're making a game. There's a trailer. You can check it out, how it works. I'm pretty interested in it because those types of games generally are super fun. I don't necessarily consider them fighting games, but I'm kind of a purist when it comes to fighting games. So I don't know about that. But what are your thoughts on this stuff? What do you think, Rip?
I think it's going to be really interesting because the virtual on Gundam games, they haven't really caught on in America. So
Hmm.
I think they're trying to use the free to play system and the character design to bring it to an American audience. I think that's the goal, and it might work because it's intriguing to me. Like that one scientist guy, he looks kind of like Doctor B, except a zombie
Hmm.
version. I don't know. The characters look interesting, and right now, I went through their website actually, and there's only like 4 characters announced. So it seems like it's not even an alpha yet. You can sign up for an alpha to get alpha access to the game by going to riseofincarnates.com, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But the part that I thought was interesting was it's going to be a 2v2 game, so and it's only on PC as well.
Yeah.
So both of the things are really interesting because Namco doesn't really make PC only games, and people
Yeah.
have been asking for Tekken on PC for a long time. So hopefully this puts them on a path where that might actually happen
Yeah.
someday. But yeah, the 2v2 fighting game thing, like it's something that I've wanted for a while. Like there's been a couple of things that have tried that, but like even with Tekken, like Tag 2, there's pair play but not online. Or Street Fighter Cross Tekken lets you do pair play online, and that was really fun.
There's
And
no pair play online in Tag 2?
no, you cannot.
Not like two players on their own PlayStations on the same team.
Yeah, you can be both your own house and play online together. You can pair play that.
Oh, why didn't they
Yeah.
do that? That seems kind of
It's
obvious,
because
right?
it actually it causes a lot of lag. That's the biggest issue. Like
Hmm.
in Cross Tekken, it worked if the connections are good. Like me and NYK, we practiced like that before Wednesday night fights,
Hmm.
and that was really useful. It was also interesting because it's like you're counting on your teammate to do something, and that I think that element is missing from fighting games. And having this sort of a game where it's just 2v2, it's not like League of Legends or something where it's 5v5. You got to rely on 4 of the guys. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like just one of the guy.
Yeah, that's
Do
not
your
too
part,
hard to
do
set
my
up
part.
either.
Let's do it. Yeah. So hopefully, yeah, I have hopes for it. Well, I don't know if they're high or low, but I have hopes for it.
Okay, wait a minute. So it's not 1v1 if you want it to be? Like you can't play 1-on-1?
I don't know. But they've announced it as 2v2.
Yeah, I noticed that, but I
Yeah.
assumed that was an option and it's not mandatory. I don't know. There's so many things to there's so many question marks at this
Yeah,
point.
I hope it stays 2v2,
Like
even if it's like League of Legends style. Yeah.
I bet 2v2 would probably be the tournament standard, anyways.
yeah, it makes sense, but how are
So
you going to
only-
have tournaments? It's a PC.
The people have tournaments for PC games all the time.
How do they do that? They bring computers everywhere or you just do it online?
Online, they'll have LAN setups for it. There's tons of ways to do that.
I mean, the idea is really good. The idea is really good. What Namco basically, it seems like what they're doing is they know they got a gold mine because the Gundam game is fucking doing great in Japan, right? So they're like, all right, we know people like this shit, but Americans don't give a shit about robots. So let's show them this other design, this other theme, And I think what they're trying to do is just kind of appeal to more people. With this free to play,
Yeah.
they're bringing a semi easy, accessible style of engine system. I think they're pretty fun too. I was a huge fan of Virtual On in the arcades. I used to love that game, and those types of games are really cool. What the fuck are you smiling about, Rip?
Wait, nothing, dude. Nothing. Go on.
Uh,
I read the chat. Wade and Gamble said Gundam because that's how you pronounce it always.
isn't that how it's pronounced?
Sure. It's
I like
close
calling
enough.
it
Was there some
Gundam.
secret letters in there?
No, dude. No, you're right. Gundam.
All right, cool.
Way to throw them off track, Rip. Now we're never gonna go back.
I'll never smile
Derailed.
again. My bad.
Please don't, actually. That would be good if you did. If I could only see you frowning for the rest
Yeah.
of my life, I could die happy.
Why don't you just minimize your Skype? You don't need to see me.
If I minimize the Skype, it's going to go fuck everything up.
I almost got you. Come on.
What happens if I do that? I'm going to try it. Uh-oh. That was a stupid idea. They both froze.
Oh, God, really?
God.
I hope I was smiling
Okay,
before it
it's
froze.
fixed. It's fixed.
Nice.
Good
All right.
job.
Anyway, game seems sick. It's gonna be free to play. I hope they're gonna add more shit. I hope it looks cool. It's a brand new game. It's a brand new game. It's developed by a lot. The character design reminds me a lot of SoulCalibur. Not because it looks like SoulCalibur, they don't have swords and shit, but the way like that one dude's hair is kind of like spiked, and it looks kind
He looks
of.
like Paul.
He looks like Paul, but his design, he looks like he's made out of what they make the stages out of in SoulCalibur. You know how SoulCalibur has these stages with these like black icicle-looking things all over the place in the background?
Oh, yeah.
And like the sword is made out of these weird like geometrical shapes.
No, yeah.
I feel like his design looks very SoulCalibur-ish. And then I've heard a lot of people actually who have talked about this game saying that they think the character design is super weak, like generic. Let's just make a game kind of designs. But I don't necessarily agree. I didn't get that vibe.
I thought it was very like open. Like it's like this is a design that's gonna allow any type of character to be in this game. Like it could be like these characters, and then there could be like what's that pink round dude from Smash Brothers?
What?
Ricky.
Pink round dude Kirby.
Jigglypuff? Jigglypuff?
Jiggly, yeah, all those guys.
Uh-huh.
I feel like
All
any of
of
those
them.
could also fit in here. Like I think it's like an open-ended system. Like not like this is our character archetype and all the characters can be similar to this one. I think the 4 characters that they've shown look like they're very varied, and it could be very open-ended.
Yeah, I could see that. They could add a giant robot in there or like, whatever, and it would fit. And that's not a bad idea, I don't know. So far, so good. They definitely could have announced something shittier than that. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it just because the Gundam games in Japan, in terms of like the arcades, like are super popular. Like they're usually like number 1 on the arcade ranking list. So, and every time when I was in Japan when the last Gundam game was out there, like it was
Gundam.
There was
That's the problem,
tons of
right?
people.
It's not Gundam, it's Gundam. Gotcha.
Whatever you want, dude.
Gundam.
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 Gundam. Okay, anyway.
You gotta lower your voice and
Gundam.
say it.
Okay, go on. It's kind of like Oscar. You know how all these clowns call her Oscar, and then when you call her Asuka, they're like, "Nah, dude, it's Oscar." That's why you gotta start calling her Oscar, man. You're gonna start calling her Oscar? Fuck it. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Gundam. Yeah, I agree. I'm excited, dude. It's gonna be cool. If it were out right now, we would all play and enjoy it. We'd play with each other, and it'd be cool. I'm sure it's gonna be fun. So I'm amped up. Good idea, Namco. Thumbs up. I really hope it doesn't stay 4 characters though, because that would be kind of lame.
Someone said
Go ahead.
Someone said in the chat that it was at least 20 characters were planned, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, that sounds like about right.
And
Yeah.
if you've ever played the Gundam games, there's a shitload of characters.
Yeah, I
And they
know.
all look-
Yeah.
And the problem with that is since I'm not into that like Gundam or anything like that. I'm like looking at them, all of them, like they all look the same, just like different colors, and like one guy has big shoulders, the other one has tiny shoulders. So,
Right. Or someone's got a gun or some shit.
So
but-
that's why this game looks more interesting to me because I can you can tell this dude's an old guy, this dude's an Asian guy, this chick is an Asian chick, and then you can tell who from who. So
that
Let me ask
is-
this though.
Go ahead.
No, how many moves does each of those Gundam characters generally have?
Very few.
Very
That's
few,
That's
right?
what's sick about the game because the game has like these types of mechanics. It's almost similar to Dark Souls in the sense that you have an attack and then you have attacks that come out of actions. So you have like a jump attack and then a jump special. You have a dash attack and a dash special. And
Right.
that's basically it. You have a regular attack and then maybe like a couple variations of it. I would kind of equate it to something like Smash Brothers, where Smash Brothers has, command moves, but they're not like that long. There isn't that many, and they all kind of function similarly too in that regard. Like the dashing and everything. Maybe the speeds are different, but it's very very homogeneous across the board. And what Ricky was saying about the whole they have a ton of characters, but I don't really I'm not interested in Gundam, so it's like whatever. I think that that's the whole point of this, because what I think Namco is trying to figure out at this point is the Gundam game in the arcades popular because Japanese people like Gundam, or is it because this system is sick? So we'll see. We'll see if the system is sick enough to carry the game to people who don't have some other external attachment to it. Because like if we really loved Gundam cartoons and we thought like Robotron was the sickest character in Gundam, we'd be like, damn, Robotron's in this game, let me pick Robotron. Or Jiggly or whatever his name is. So you know, so I mean, you know, I think that it's a good idea. It's a good test to see if their system and their gameplay is good enough to carry the game, as opposed to the big fans. Because you know, in Japan they have like a whole monument. There's like a life-sized Gundam robot in Japan, and they love that shit, man. So
There's a Gundam cafe where all they do is serve Gundam themed foods, and
Isn't that crazy?
the bathroom is all Gundam themed.
piss on a robot and shit. Take a
Pretty
dump
much.
on in a robot's mouth. That shit'll be tight. You know, they also have a Dark Souls cafe in Japan. I've seen pictures of it. It looks sick. They serve Estus drinks. It's super tight.
Do
But-
you have to get beat up before you
Yeah,
get
you die before
die a
you
bunch
leave.
of
They have to kill you.
There's
Oh,
a fog
God.
door to get in there?
Yeah, that's it, man. Fog door? That would be so sick. Oh, damn. I gotta get fog doors for my room, dude. Just fucking
Dude, that
fog
sounds-
doors. Come in, Dirty Colossus is in here.
Step in, you see a big ass life bar errors.
Yeah, Ares, dude. Boom. So yeah, man, the whole idea seems great to me. I mean, I can't wait. Did they say when it's supposed to come out?
No, they did not. But I assume we'll see more at E3. E3 is only like a month and a half away,
Oh
so
shit.
it's coming really soon. And I think the next couple months with E3 and Comic Con, etc., and Evo, I think there's just gonna be a lot of info. Oh, speaking of which, Harada even tweeted out something like somebody tweeted at him like, "Hey, when are you gonna make an announcement about the next Tekken or whatever?" And then he linked them to the Evo announcement that Tekken got added to Evo. So it's just kind of a hint maybe that they're gonna announce something about the next Tekken and Evo as well. So
Whoa, that went from we're not even gonna be at Evo to like Evo is extremely important for us, and we're gonna announce the future there, huh?
yeah, so it's very interesting. Evo still has some tricks up its sleeve.
Definitely. They always do. So that's dope. Very cool. Very cool. I'm about to move on to NCR unless you guys have anything else to add about what is it called again? The game? Something.
Rise
Rise
of
of
the
Incarnates.
Rise.
RI, return on investment.
Huh.
Mm.
Okay. Rise of the Incarnates. Right? Okay. Cool.
Sure.
Right.
I'm
Why not? Why can't it be ROTC?
see?
Oh, I. ROTI. There we go.
You
Good
got
luck.
it, Rick.
Good spelling.
Stick to math and Gundam robots, all right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
moving on. So
I like ROT. I just thought ROTC made more sense to me.
tight. I was at NCR. I went to NCR. It was at a Holiday Inn in Sacramento, and it was definitely a lot of fun. What happened to Rip?
That's definitely him. Dan, did you just disconnect from the call?
I mean, how could this be hard at this point? What the fuck?
Oh, he did something. That was him. Yeah, I think he closed it.
Asshole. What a,
He didn't even tell us. He just leaves.
yeah, what the fuck, man? And the thing already cut out, so I gotta edit that shit anyway. Anyway, so NCR, this guy better come back on his own. There he goes.
There he is. I think.
Talk some shit to him. What the hell was that?
I had to go. I'm sorry.
You had to
I'm
go?
I'm back.
Okay. That'd be tight if you changed your clothes. That would have been really funny.
We can do that.
Don't do that. Anyway, so yeah, I was there. The location in terms of what city it was in was really funky. Cause Sacramento sucks. It was like, wow. I mean, I was with a group of guys that can turn anything into fun. I was with Lambo. That guy gets into mashed potatoes no matter where he goes. So nothing. It was like a fucking ghost town. Literally because it was designed like the Old West. They had like a downtown Sacramento, and there was like an Old West theme, and man, it was dead. So that part of it was whack, but the tournament itself was pretty fun. Like it was in like a rec room of a Holiday Inn. But there were two things about that tournament that I thought were really weird, and I don't even know if they're like this at every tournament, and I wanted to run it by you guys. So before I even get into the SoulCalibur tournament, which was really cool, I enjoyed it a lot. But the tournament itself, first of all, they really are making it so that if you don't like Street Fighter 4 or Marvel vs. Capcom 2, you're a fucking piece of shit. Like, it's just like you're not important in the least bit. The placement, like in comparison to SCR, When you're at SCR, if you're a Tekken player, if you're an Injustice player, if you're a Killer Instinct player, or any of them, SoulCalibur player. I mean, dude, I played SoulCalibur 2 at SCR. This game's like fucking 12 years old, and it felt like it was important. You know, there was a big projector. The stream station was nice. We were put into our own area where we're not being in other people's way, and like it was like this. The tournament organizers showed a lot of respect for every game that was there, and at SCR, a lot of games were there. NCR didn't have Tag 2, didn't have Injustice, and whatever the reason is for that, I don't even care. But as far as like for the SoulCalibur area, and I noticed this for a lot of the other games as well, the placement of the streams and the placement of the stations was unbelievable. So let me try and paint the picture for you guys. It was a giant room, as usual. One of the walls had all of the big stuff on it, so it was clear this is where all the dope shit's gonna happen. Big screen, stage, stream station, commentators, all that. Directly in front of that, there was a group of chairs and stuff where people could watch, but it was a small number of chairs. Right behind the chairs was where the SoulCalibur players are supposed to play, and they're facing away from the shit behind them. All the dope shit's happening behind us, right? So we're playing on a monitor that's basically our backs are to all the action, right? And it's pretty fucking close, no more than 25 feet away from the action, right? So all the people that are watching the dope shit happening and cheering, and they're like, yeah, infiltration, are right in front of our faces. So we're looking at the crowd that's looking behind us cheering. So it was extremely distracting, and I thought the setup was just not... It was clear that they were like, oh, SoulCalibur could go over there, and like this could go over there. It was really like it had that feeling, and I really didn't like that. And I don't.
The crowd's all telling you like, sit the fuck down.
Yeah, basically, get out of the way. I'm trying to watch Capcom games. And as much as I love watching Street Fighter and Marvel, and I obviously everyone knows that if you don't play those two games, you're part of a minority as far as the fighting game scene goes. But it really was like over the top. Because, I mean, that was the case at SoCal Regionals as well. I mean, Capcom games were huge there. That was the big hype. But I don't know about you guys. Do you agree? It didn't feel like we were losers at SoCal Regionals. It felt like that they care. There's a big screen here. There's a lot of people watching, and it felt good playing those games. Do you guys concur with this?
Yeah,
Ricky,
I do.
you can go first.
I can, well, especially with SCR. I mean, SCR, we had, every station had usually like almost every, I think, game was streamed by, if it wasn't by, Commando, Level Up, or anyone else, then it was like from their own, like their own little streamer that streams a lot of their community games. It seemed like almost every station had like a projector for something. Like there was Injustice way in the back. The second stage had all the other games that was streamed. Then you had the main stage for all the Capcom games, obviously. But even like I think like the anime station had a projector too. So it's like they had tons of shit there. And NCR, like I didn't go, but it's like the thing that really like was the thing that made me go like, wow, like they kind of just like they don't care about any of the side games, was just like how they had all the pools up for Marvel, all the pools up for Street Fighter 4, and it's like they were like, okay, for all the other games, check with the guy who's organizing it at the day of.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on. And it's like with at least with SCR, like they gave us control, like obviously Rip handled the pools for Street Fighter or for Tekken. So he put them up on, legitimately. And so everyone got to see it anyway. So it felt like it was an official event. Yeah. It just seemed like to me like NCR was just it was only Capcom, and that's how it is up there, I guess.
Well, I mean, okay, you go ahead, Rip. What are your thoughts?
No, I mean, it's kind of hard because SCR is very lucky to have that venue that they have because it has a bunch of projectors in it. It's got a bunch of big screens in there, so that venue is ridiculous. Like, if any tournament was held in that venue, they'd be lucky. And the way it was handled, SCR with the number of streamers though was ridiculous. Well, ridiculous in a great way, obviously.
Yeah, great.
It just worked out that it was just fantastic. So even like, we were Tekken and we had a smaller projector screen. We weren't the Capcom stage, which is all giant or whatever. It still felt like, oh, look, we got to play on the big screen. And, like Ricky said in the back, Injustice and Killer Instinct were both streamed by, I think, the EGP guys. Brian Compton and them. And so, they had their own big section. So no matter what game you came for, you felt like, oh, cool, this is a big gathering for all our players. We got a big stage, demonstrate, so whatever, and so it felt big for everyone there. And, I didn't even watch the NCR stream because honestly, I didn't really care about anything other than, Tekken and KI. And KI, I saw a little bit of it, but, so I didn't get to see the SC stuff or whatever. But, it sucks the way they did it apparently. And I just feel like they haven't cared that much lately. I mean, with Tekken last year, I mean, we all knew it was going to suck, so we didn't go, and then it did suck after we didn't go. And then
probably because we didn't go.
Not even necessarily. I mean, and this year, no Injustice, like that's surprising to me.
I don't get it either. I
could understand no Tekken after last year. You gonna drop Injustice too?
I think they dropped certain games just because of the entries. Like I heard they dropped Tekken because there was only like 6 entries.
Yeah.
So I would assume they probably did the same for Injustice. Like originally was on there, and then now is it? I don't even know if though I know they don't have a Road to Evo thing, but don't they count up the points or anything for something like that? Anyways, for
I don't know
seeding.
Yeah, no, it's for something for Capcom Cup or something, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Okay. Well, I guess so it's not for the side games then.
Well, I mean, that's one thing I want to say. I definitely understand that Capcom is directly involved in supporting NCR, and obviously NCR is going to be gobbling on their schlongs the whole time. So clearly they're going to focus their attention in that direction, and I don't blame them for that. But Valle also was under the same scenario, and you know me, I do not like to suck Valle's dick, but man, he really did a great job at SCR, especially in hindsight, now that I've gone to NCR, with distributing. Dude, I got a medal for winning SoulCalibur 2. It's sitting right here. I got a gold medal for winning a 12-year-old game at SCR. It says Champion SoulCalibur 2 engraved on it. I mean, that's pretty amazing of Valle to do that, and it really makes you think. It doesn't make you feel like an outcast, So I really now appreciate, I don't necessarily blame NCR for not doing that, but it definitely gave me a lot of appreciation for Valle doing that because it really makes a huge difference for the players. I mean, really, the players are this goes back to Strong Style, but it's all about the players. They're there, they're paying the venue fee, which that's the next topic I'm going to talk about. But it just seemed like, I guess the lesson I took away from NCR is that you have to really appreciate. You don't really necessarily appreciate what you have until you see what it's like without it. And if the tournament organizers choose, they can really make certain players of certain games feel, I don't want to say unwelcome, but at least not as welcome in open arms, perhaps, as other games. And that brings me into the whole concept of the venue fees. So, the venue fee for a side game at NCR was, the total fee was, I think, $40 to $50 plus $5 that go to the pot. That doesn't even make sense to me. Is that how it is at any other tournament? Do either
I don't think it's $5 anymore. I think it's generally 10.
It has to be 10 because if it's $5 and the side game only gets, let's say, 16 players, the winner barely makes his money back. Split up 70, 20, 10, $5 per pot, 16 times 5. That's fucking crazy. At SCR, it was $10 per game, which at least that gives people the incentive to enter. I mean, it's not, the reason they didn't have Injustice and Tekken Tag 2 is because I think they were only charging $5 for entry fee. Right? I mean, why the fuck would you... maybe I'm missing something. Do you guys have any explanation here, Rip?
I mean, I'm comparing you saying that, and I'm thinking last night at Wednesday Night Fights, I paid $5 venue fee and $5 per game for Tekken Tag 2. There was only, I think, 17 people there. I got second place, and I walked away with like $25, $26. So, that's pretty good. Paid $10, I got 25. I made like $50, but it's a weekly. I mean, this is NCR is supposed to be a big tournament. You got to pay a $40 venue fee. So if I had went and there was Tag 2 there, I would have paid $40 for the venue fee, $5 for my game, and if I got second place with 17 people, I got $25, right?
Yeah, you lose hella money. I mean,
lost $20 for being an NCR instead of doing just at Wednesday Night Fights or something.
It doesn't even make sense to me because, I mean, I don't even get it. I feel like I'm missing part of the equation. How could it not make sense like that? right? I mean,
Yeah, no, that's
where's the logic? How are you
I mean,
gonna go ahead, Ricky?
maybe the community itself, like the communities that had the side games, could have said something like, like, hey, at least can we make this a $10 pot or something? But honestly, like, it just seems stupid. And yeah, that's it, really. I don't
All
think
the
you're missing
games,
anything. I
all
don't
of the
think there's anything
side
you're
games.
missing.
This is a major tournament, quote unquote, right? Every side game that they had there, you had to register for said game through the NCR website. So you will go through the same process as registering for any of the major games. So
right.
if you're forced to go through that website and if you're forced to enter through the conventional method, there isn't really much you can do as far as like, hey, tournament organizer, can you make this $10? It wouldn't work. It's like, and then in the first place, they made it $5 in the first place, and then you wonder why people aren't registering because there's like no chance for you to make any money. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand the point. It didn't really add up. I thought going there, I thought that SoulCalibur 2 and SoulCalibur 5 had a bonus pot, which was what everyone told me. What's his name? Tomahawk. He told me that. A shitload of people were like, yeah, that's the case. But it didn't end up being the case. And so the winner ends up losing money for, winning. It just doesn't make sense. I don't think it's a good idea. I mean, if you're going to have side games, at least make it, potentially worth it for people to at least make their money back at second place. At least. I mean, that's like barely, what else could you ask for? I mean, we're playing for a reason. And then the thing is, at least if they're going to charge that huge venue fee, they didn't even do any of the stuff that SCR did, where you get at least a projector, you get a nice presentation. SoulCalibur wasn't even streamed. It was just recorded. That guy, I think his name is Niawu or something. He had all his computer and all that shit set up. He brought all his own stuff. I don't know if he got a piece of the venue fee, but he put a lot of work in, and just the whole idea of it didn't make sense to me. It wasn't like I didn't have a bad time. I had a great time, and it was a very enjoyable tournament. A lot of cool people were there. Of course, we got to kick it with Markman. That one guy, Kiss Army, he showed up and he brought a setup for Tekken, so there were people playing Tekken, and it was really fun. But just as like the logistics of the tournament for a player that's not a player of Capcom games, it didn't really seem like there was, like Ricky said, there wasn't that much care put into it for the player of the non-Capcom games. All it really did was make me appreciate Vaya and his style of running a tournament more. So that's just what I wanted to say about that. As far as the tournament itself goes, I thought it was really, really cool. I got there and I got put into losers pretty early by Crazy CD, who's a really old school maxi player from back in the day, and he really had a really unexpected and solid style. I think the matches are available somewhere on YouTube, so you could probably look that up. But put me into losers. I came back out of losers, and grand finals were against Hates, who's also an old school player, and so I ended up winning. And, it was a lot of fun. I thought it was a really cool tournament. I went with a bunch of cool people. We all had a great time. The city it was in was shitty, but what are you going to do about that? The venue was cool, but, just the whole idea of the placement and everything was really the thing that was a bummer for me. I didn't like the way it felt. Like, man, it really made you feel like you want to play these games that everyone else is having fun watching and caring about, So I didn't like it. I didn't like that aspect of it. They could have done a lot more to. Maybe it's a matter of money. Maybe it's just a matter of like, Capcom is really feeding us, so we have to focus on them. Put all our focus on them.
Wait, so was there no second stage?
There was. I didn't go to the other side of the room much because that's where all like the anime stuff was going on. But on the I guess left side of the room, there was one screen where they played the Third Strike Grand Finals and the KOF Grand Finals and all that. And that had a screen. There was like a side tournament with like a smaller big screen. And I think that might have been the only other one, but there might have been some other ones in the room. But SoulCalibur definitely didn't get any of that attention. And I don't know if the other games did either. I know KOF got some stream time. Third Strike, that's another thing. You know, I did commentary for Third Strike Top 4 with Sanchez, and I thought it was going to be a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it very much. But when it got to grand finals, I mean, it was Ricky Ortiz versus Justin Wong. Obviously, both of them are like, you know, super high profile players. And they're both
Right.
sponsored by the same sponsor, Evil Geniuses. But they were both playing in the grand finals of this game, and neither of them gave a fuck about it at all. Me and Sanchez, the commentators, cared more about what was going on than the two players. Between matches, they were like playing. The rest of the time, they were just looking up at the big screen, watching Infiltration play.
Wow.
And then, okay, let me play again. I don't give a shit. And then boom. I mean, they were just looking away. And I was just thinking, like, man, these guys don't give a fuck about the game they're playing. That's how much they give a fuck about the stuff that we have to give a fuck about to get attention. So it was really even further driving that point where it was like, I'm trying to commentate this. I'm trying to have fun. And these guys don't even give a fuck. It's like, damn, I better start giving a fuck about this shit that everyone else is looking at, or else I'm by myself over here with Sanchez. You know, so just that whole vibe I got from it was kind of a bummer. I didn't like that. Because all these other games, even the ones that I don't like, they have so much value, you know, and taking away from them is not a good look, you know, like, I don't know what can be done to fix that, but Capcom is becoming so powerful and their games are becoming so popular and powerful in that sense that it's like they're pulling everyone away. They're like, don't play that loser shit. What are you, a loser? Play this shit on the big screen, man. Everyone's looking over here. Why don't you look over here? You know, it's like, I don't know. It's very frustrating for me, more than ever. It's very frustrating.
That's very interesting.
What are your thoughts? You look like you're stewing in there.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because you said that their games, the Capcom's more powerful than ever, etc. And I'm just thinking, like, isn't Marvel numbers like on the way down? And you know, I mean, yeah, they got Ultra Street Fighter 4 coming out, but I mean, is that going to bring everyone back in?
It
You know, is
is.
that going to make it stronger?
Yeah, it is. I mean,
Is it?
dude, there's
I'm
people.
thinking about playing it. Let's play it.
Dude, I know. Me too.
We can be like those guys, and people can look at us on the stage.
We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to. I mean, you know, I mean, at this point, when you go to Wednesday Night Fights, people are just there. They have a twinkle in their eye. People that don't even give a fuck and haven't given a fuck, they're like Street Fighter 4. Oh man, option selects and all kinds of fucking shit. You know, they're really hype about it. You know, and they're into it. So. This whole Ultra Street Fighter 4 thing, first of all, I think is a brilliant, genius idea. I think that more fighting game developers should take away from this and not abandon their game with another sequel, but instead reproduce the same game with tweaks and additions. I think that that's a great idea. I've thought it was a great idea from day one, and you know, I just hope other people do it. This is a good idea, you know, and it's literally taking people away from the games that they like. You know, it's such a good idea. So, I don't know. I mean, that vibe I got from that tournament was kind of a letdown as far as playing anything but what's popular, you know? Not necessarily for me, but I guess I felt it happening to a lot of people there. You know, like it felt like this oppressive, like, you know, how Christianity took over Northern Europe and the Norsemen fell to Christianity. It's like that, you know. It's like you have no
I don't think
choice.
it's anything like that. But,
Yeah, you have no choice, dude. Capcom is Christianity, man. You have to do it. Capcom is Christianity. You have to do
They
it,
don't
man.
knock on my door and give me stuff.
They're
dude.
gonna start trying to wash your dishes and shit, man. I'm telling you, dude. It's pretty wild.
is Tekken like Jehovah's Witnesses knocking on doors and shit?
Yeah, man, that's us, dude. That's us. We're the minorities now, you know. So
We've always been the minority, though.
yeah, but now it's becoming like. Before it was like, oh, cool, you play Tekken. Now it's like, ugh, like, ugh. Why? You know, and it's like, man, why would you have such a shitty attitude? You know, uneducated attitude. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. You guys have anything to add to that? Because I mean, I was pretty, not, I wouldn't say pissed, but it was like a revelation to me of how much power Capcom has. You know?
You know, I think that's honestly it's because it's NCR. Like, I feel like you went to a tournament that you knew was going to be like that. I mean, they didn't have Tekken, they didn't have Injustice. You know, they were part of Capcom Pro Tour, etc. Like, this is a tournament that was totally geared for Capcom. So it's not unexpected that the non-Capcom stuff got shafted.
My direct rebuttal to that is, you're right. However, I just went. I went to SCR, and
Yeah.
they had side games too, and they
But
made
they had
you.
Tekken, they had Injustice.
Forget that. They had SoulCalibur. It was a side game, right? I mean, I was there to play that, and
Well,
the venue
okay.
fee was the same price.
No. Here's how I view it. Just because from viewing NCR from afar and being at SCR up close, it feels like SCR does its best to include everybody in it, and make everyone feel like, all right, you're at a major. This is a major. Be happy that you're here and have fun. And
Mhm.
just looking at NCR from afar and what Famaris is saying, I think they look at it as we want this to be a big Marvel and a big Street Fighter tournament. Every other game we want there, but it's kind of a nuisance. But we should have it so that it seems more like a big tournament for all the other games. So
Yeah.
we'll have it, but go over there.
Yeah,
Go over there.
I
Go
definitely
in the bathroom. In the bathroom.
definitely got that vibe. Like, yeah, you can play here if you want, but don't break anything and don't piss us off. You get that portion over there. While
It's also because I think it's just the games that they've played. I mean, Choi and Kaneda are both obviously Street Fighter guys, and they're the NCR guys.
Yeah.
It's like the old what was it back then, like when NCR was still at what was it, Sunnyvale Golfland? Like it felt like that was just like John Choi running a tournament, and he said if you guys want to come by and run tournaments here, like you can. It's like that's why Bronson would help run NCR for Tekken back then. But I think like now it's just like it's more of a hassle for them.
Yeah, I mean, there is so much involved in running a major tournament like that. I mean, the whole logistics behind even selecting Sacramento as the location, there must be a great reason for that because it's such a goofy idea. I mean, Sacramento sucks butt cheeks. So there must be a good reason,
And weren't you the one that told me, like, isn't Sacramento the capital of California?
I thought that too, man. I was like,
no, that was your thing, and I told you from day one, Sacramento sucks, and you were like, but it's the capital of California. It can't be that
I had
bad.
never been there. They put a star on the map of that place. Stars are cool, I was like, oh shit, this shit has a star around it. It's got to be a cool place. Super not cool.
You thought it was a star, but it was more like a danger sign. Dude.
It's
It
an
was like,
upside down star and shit. Satan. Oh man, I don't know. I mean, it was. What's funny is I have these bittersweet feelings about the tournament, but those feelings are like just my feelings as a member of the scene. As far as fun goes, man, they really produced a fun tournament. I mean, the tournament was a lot of fun. It was timely and the setups were good. Everything was good. It was just minute details that as a community member and a supporter of 3D games and side games, that part of it was lame. But they really were able to pull through hardcore when it came to just an event that's sick, especially if you like the Capcom games. I mean, yeah, definitely they pulled through with that. And another thing that they definitely pulled through with, which I have to give them credit on, is a couple weeks ago I was talking about commentary and how I hate it, how some tournaments are really shitty about it. They're just like, hey, you know about this game, get on the mic and be a fucking moron for a couple hours. They are the total polar opposite. Chris Seglia and whoever else is involved with that are so good about like, all right, you're doing commentary for this, be here at this time, bing, bang, boom, see you next year. And that's the way to do it. So, I mean, there's a lot of pros, there's a lot of cons, but they definitely are nailing some things right. I just wish they were more homogenous on their care for different games.
If they just made it a Capcom only event, then it'd be the best event for and we could enjoy it on stream.
I wonder if there's any reason why they don't. Oh, well, I know what the reason why they don't is, dude.
Venue fee, bro.
Dude, Jom. I was with Jom at the tournament. He was one of the people that went with me. He calculated how much money NCR made off of SoulCalibur 2 alone, right? So
Right.
I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think they took in $900+ and paid out $100 and something for SoulCalibur 2 alone. So
Well, and
Nice.
they didn't necessarily pay out. That was the community paying.
Yeah, that was
well, no,
really-
but yeah, that's what I'm saying. As far as money transfer for one event, right?
yeah.
They collected $900+ and paid out to the winners $100 and some change. So obviously NCR is like, sure, bring SoulCalibur and all the dumbasses that want to play it over, man. Enter as much as you want. We'll give you this location right outside the bathroom, and check it out. So that is the answer to that. Obviously, they want as many games as they can to do that for sure. So that answers that, but I don't know. I mean, $10 entry would have been better, in my opinion. And that's why I'm looking forward to Strong Style 2. Because, the venue fee is going to be super low. And it's going to be super tight. And it's going to be the polar opposite. We're going to just have one setup for Street Fighter 4. And we're going to put it in the trash can. And we're like, hey, you Street Fighter 4 players, go in this dumpster and fucking chew on that shit. So I'm
and it'll
really...
still be more hype than the big screen. The people are
I know.
The
Everyone's going to be in the trash can like, yo, Ultra Street Fighter 4 is red carries. Select. That's so godlike. Man, these guys, dude, it's like they have no creativity at all. Even Nick, he was over here earlier, and he's like, they're bodied, godlike. I was like, man, come up with your own shit, man. Carne asada some shit, man. Get it together.
Dude, Nick was pretty funny on your stream earlier. Playing KI when he just talked
so
shit to
weird,
people.
dude.
He was hilarious.
I was hoping Nick would still be at your house and he'd be on this show right now.
He might still be here. I don't know where he is. He might live here now.
Look at the roof. That's always the first place you look.
Yeah, I know. I think he said he's going to the run back. So.
Wow,
that makes sense.
He's all about Killer Instinct, man. He loves that shit. I mean, the way he was talking about Killer Instinct, he loves that shit. So that's cool. I thought the game was sick too. If Nick wasn't here, I would have thought it was better because I didn't even understand half the shit he was saying. And if I could just sit down with the game and play it, I think I'd even like it more. So yeah, really tight. I'm really excited to play that more if I ever get a chance. But obviously, I don't have the Xbox, so. I don't know. Anything else? That was NCR. Was there any other shit that we were going to talk about before we called bitches?
I think that was it.
I always get this feeling that I'm forgetting
Wasn't that
something.
fights? You got deuced?
I did get deuced. That's true. I also fucking hella didn't want to go. I wish I didn't, except the commentary was really fun. The only reason I'm pissed is because... Man, I spent $10 on that shit. I don't mind getting deuced, but $10 to get deuced... I didn't like that. And you know what's even more fucked up? So Watson, Watson knows that I'm obviously he knows I'm unemployed. He fucking fired me. So he knows. So he was going to be like, all right, it's cool. Just pay me $5. I'll cover your venue fee. And I didn't want to do that. He's got a business and I like to support his business. So I was like, no, it's cool, man. Like you could take my venue fee. I want to support your business. I'm here. And I got my fucking shit pushed in. So I'm like, I should have taken that fucking deal. $5, damn it, But anyway, that shit happens. I got fucked up. To be honest, I haven't gotten deuced in a tournament. I think probably in at least 5 or 6 years. Honestly, maybe even way more than that. Way more than that. I can't even remember in any game, Cross Tekken, any game I've entered, Third Strike, you name it, any game, Virtual Fighter. I didn't get deuced out of any of those tournaments. And I got deuced out yesterday, so.
By Cynic.
Cynic and Sonkin. Cynic doesn't even bother me as much as Sonkin because Sonkin, I mean, Cynic, he's a washed up whatever. But Sonkin.
But he's the original Deuce.
Well, yeah, he's the original Deuce, but I've lost to Cynic before, and it's like losing to. When I lose to Cynic, it's like I'm doing him a favor. He's pleased. I like seeing that tiny little mouth on his face smile. But Sonkin, the thing I hate about Sonkin is that he's so consistently done well against me, and then so consistently, immediately after beating me, loses to fill in the blank. I mean, any fucking moron will beat Sonkin immediately after he beats me. Like, you just name it. You name it. The fucking janitor, anyone, the bitch that takes out the trash. Anyone can beat Sonkin right after he's beaten me. So that guy could go fuck himself.
I've been calling Sonkin the gatekeeper for Wednesday night fights.
He's not even the gatekeeper, man.
No, I know. No, actually, no. I didn't call him the gatekeeper.
Yeah, I think I'm the gatekeeper.
Someone in the chat called him the gatekeeper of Wednesday night fights, and I said that gate is wide open.
Yeah, unlocked.
There's no guard there. There's no lock. It's not even a gate.
Yeah,
he's not even keeping the gate.
There's no gate there. There's nothing. There's nothing. It's an empty fucking peninsula. It's nothing. Man, that wasn't even my bitch calling. Anyway, you guys got bitches?
Let me continue off of that then. I'll call Sonkin a bitch just because I have nothing against Sonkin. He's a nice guy, but
yeah, he's a nice guy.
he's fourth on that, on that tier or the top 10 player list that James made, which is obvious. It's obvious troll. He put Sunken fourth to piss everyone off, obviously. But
Wait a minute, what top 10 player list that James made?
It's
I
on
don't know.
Facebook.
it's on Facebook. He put like a top 10 player list or something. So
Who
like
are they?
number one is James, number two is like Incog, third is Kyle, fourth is Sunken. Like eighth is like Rena Black, 10th is like Chet. There's a bunch of and like you got and like they
Chet is
put
not
you,
10, he's G.
MYK, and Eris in the middle. So it's like I'm looking at that list. I'm like, okay, so it's obviously number one. It's completely obvious that James, did something with Sonk in there and put him fourth just because he wants everyone to, go to Wednesday night fights to prove himself or something. But, yeah, Sonkin's a bitch for being fourth on James's list.
Yeah, Sunken, he's, the thing about Sunken, and I'm going to be totally honest. The thing that's really holding him back as a player is that he thinks he's a lot better than he is. I know that. I know that that's what's holding him back as a player. He's so concerned with not only being good, but other people thinking he's good, that he's never going to get good. And it's clear to me. Like, for example, I've overheard him talking, like, after he does well against someone. All he talks about is how he's better than that person. I'm better than him now. I beat Rip, now I'm better than Rip. And he doesn't even think about what's in front of his fucking face. The bitch that takes out the trash is right in front of you, and you're thinking about Rip that's right behind you. So this kind of an attitude, for those of you out there who are interested in getting better, that's not the way to do it. He feels very accomplished when he does something like that, almost as though that was the end goal. And that's not the way to approach it. Beating one person one time in this one way is not the end goal. The end goal is winning. First place, number one. Damn, that is really loud. Oh my god. You guys can't hear that, but the internet, someone just subscribed. Caliber Zero just subscribed.
Oh, God.
And that shit is really fucking loud. It like blew out my ears. Beat spin. Oh man, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Scared the
God.
shit out of me too. Anyway, thanks for subscribing, man. Maybe I should turn that off during the show. I forgot to
That's
turn it
even
off.
better.
Oh my god.
Wow, that was really loud. Got tearing my eyes up.
Oh god.
I forgot what I was saying, but
He subscribed because of my bitch calling, so.
yeah, Sunken, anyway, that's what I was just trying to say. Those of you who are interested in winning, that you shouldn't set your end goals so low. First place, if you win, you're good. I told him in the past, this will tell you automatically that I'm right about this. This guy has walked up to me and asked me, Eris, do you think I'm good? Like, just asking me that question tells me, first of all, no, because nobody who's good would ever ask anyone anything like that. And secondly, he cares so much about being good that he'll never even get there. That's not what you do. You play to win. You win. First place. That's it. First place or no place. And that's at least my mentality on it. I think that's really the way to get better. So yeah, whatever. He's a bitch. Moving
He's
on.
going to Northwest Majors.
Oh, cool. I really have wanted to see him play somewhere outside of Wednesday Night Fights in forever. So I'm excited. That's
He's going to be Bronson. And then
that
ask
would
Bronson,
be.
That would be the best.
Hey, Bronson,
Ooh.
do you think I'm good?
Do you think I'm good? You're not good, and you look like a rodent. Who's next?
Oh my god. Is it me?
I guess.
Alright. Well, I'm not a religious guy. But if there is some almighty thing or person or whatever controlling my destiny and fate, that guy is a bitch for yesterday.
What?
'Cause, dude,
Listen,
yesterday was a terrible day.
you can't call God a bitch. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, let's not call God or any higher being a bitch.
Yesterday, I'm trying to
Just
go
call karma a bitch.
talking to you.
Call
I'm not
God a
talking-
bitch. Fuck it, whatever. Go ahead.
Alright. Number one, I started, people were texting me at 7 a.m. to wake me up because my email got hacked. I'm like, what the hell, right? It's super old, whatever. I don't even care, right? So then, I run virus scans on my system and go back to sleep. I wake up, I turn on my monitor to check the virus scan result. My monitor dies. I'm like, are you serious? This is my favorite monitor. It's like 120 hertz. It runs 120 frames per second games. Dead. All right, cool, whatever. It's just a physical thing. It'll be fine. Then, out of nowhere, my back starts going out on me. So now I've got this crazy back pain. And I'm about not to go to Wednesday fights. Ricky's going to drive me. I'm like, all right, sweet, I'll go. Then I'm eating dinner because I'm trying to rush it because I want to make it in time for Ricky to pick me up. and then I bite my tongue starts bleeding. So yesterday sucked, dude. So he's a bitch. Go on.
Who's a bitch? You can't call. I don't care if you call God a bitch for religious reasons. I just think it's such a cop out bitch calling.
I am, dude. Yesterday sucked, and today still sucks because of it. Like right now, I don't have a monitor right here. There should be a monitor right here, and I don't have it. So
Wah wah wah. Just fucking sell one of those statues behind you and bing bang boom. End of story. Didn't think about that, huh? Those shitty statues that you're not doing anything with. You could turn that motherfucker into a monitor. Easy peasy Deathstroke.
Stack monitors on top of each other?
Yeah,
Cool.
easy to do. So yeah, Sonkin's definitely a bitch. Cynic's definitely a bitch. Vietnam Tom's really cool. He's my reverse bitch calling. Cause man, he puts in so much work bringing that laptop, and you know, that's not easy to do. He brings the laptop, sets it up. Every single person watching this right now, head over to SoCal Tekken and follow that shit. Cause if you like Tekken, that's the place to watch it. On Wednesdays, you know, I was there, Rip was there, Tasty Steve, Ricksta. We were all doing commentary at different times, and it's really cool. It's really something that I watched a little bit of it today, like, you know, just I wanted something on in the background, so I turned on yesterday's Wednesday Night Fight stream, and I think that it's pretty enjoyable. And if I was someone who liked Tekken, I would definitely check it out. So definitely check that out, you guys in the chat. SoCal Tekken. I don't know why I brought that up in the bitch calling, but I definitely think he deserves a lot of credit for doing that. Who else is a bitch? I don't know if it's Time Warner or what the problem is, but the way my stream goes down all the time, that shit is like just the thorn. There is a thorn in my side because of this shit. I don't even know what the problem is, but OBS will just say, boop, bling, sorry, amigo, trying to reconnect. And I just don't know what the fuck the problem is. So if that's Time Warner, they're a bitch. If it's OBS, OBS is a bitch. And if it's Twitch, they're cool. But anyway, so yeah, that's what's been grinding my shit up lately. Rip, plug your shit.
Yeah. I'm about to hit 50 subscribers on the Level Up Your Game channel on Twitch.
Woo!
So as soon as we hit that, we're gonna get a Gaguni emote. I got permission from him, and he sent me 6 emotes to choose from.
Damn.
So we're
Wow.
definitely gonna have a Gaguni emote. Yeah, so I
Nice.
see like 1 or 2 more, and then we could be good. So hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, that's
Cool.
it. Follow me and all that good
That
stuff.
sounds pretty good. I think my Gaguni emote is gonna be better than yours.
Damn,
It's gonna have a wiener.
you're
in it.
gonna copy me, huh? Nice. Go on.
No. Hey, speaking of copying you, every time Charles hears you do any kind of streaming or whatever, sometimes I'll be watching you. As soon as you say easy, so easy, he gets so pissed off that you copy him and say easy, so easy. He's like, that son of a bitch. Copying me, saying easy, so easy, huh? Anyway, just wanted to make it clear that I wasn't
love
the only
Easy,
one
So
that.
Easy.
Yeah, I know you do. He knows you
Yeah.
do too. So anyway, yeah. Whatever. See you guys later.